Now that you're overseeing marketing and sales, and I'm sure you've got SLAs between the different departments here as well, there's an area that is, you can call it a gap in most B2B companies where lots of times the deals that marketing brings forward, the leads that we bring forward, are earlier stage. They're not always BANT qualified, right? And, but most often sales organizations are built around compensation packages that benefit short-term attainment, right? Close deals this quarter, this month. So how do you design for the middle? How do you design when this is somebody that is in our list? Like we all have lists. These are the companies we want to do business with, right? And in this day and age, we know we have to build relationships. You can't just decide because you're seeing a lot of intent signals. All of a sudden, now is when we build trust. Now is when we build relationships, right? This is a longer process. So that's typically a marketing and sales function that has that gap in the middle. And I'm just wondering how you think about that gap and maybe marketing nurturing longer, sales picking up earlier, changing compensation structures. I mean, I've heard a ton, but I would love to hear your point of view on what you do with that gap.
As you were talking, I was like thinking about our current SLA, about where I think that gap might be. Maybe one way I was thinking about that, Steve, is that actually I don't think it's a gap in the middle. I think that's still a marketing gap to solve for, which is still on the marketing teams to make sure that by the time we get it over to sales, it means they actually had intent to see the product and want to talk to a sales rep, because that journey, the nurturing journey, the intent journey, the trust building journey is a marketing job. This is why I think, again, no shade to my sales counterparts, but the marketing function, the CMO function, which is these 12 disciplines I mentioned at the front, all of those disciplines support all of that journey we just mentioned, which is why I'm like, I don't know that it's a gap between teams. It's a problem for marketing to solve for completely before they toss it over the wall to sales, which is like, this person has now said, I want to speak to sales rep. So again, we don't help Scout, and even at Electric, we didn't really do a ton of outbounding from the sales reps to prospects, because that just meant that there would be so much later in the stage. And actually, like, marketing is a better touch point for them until that point at which they're ready to really engage. And then we send them over to sales, because that's where I think the unique value prop is for like a sales organization. It's marketing built the trust. Sales need to now really convince them, why us? And that's where we have each team focused, versus like maybe this in the middle piece that you were talking about. It's really just all on marketing.